This is LeAnna Bumblebee Cruz from Allentown, PA Showstoppers Boxing Gym, and you are now tuned in to TTT Tell the Truth Boxing Pod. TTT Tell the Truth!
Tell the truth, that's right. We got somebody with us.
Got a special guest,
LeAnna Cruz.
How important is this fight boxing game to you?
This is about a legacy more than anything.
Hey.
I'm LeAnna, but more importantly, I'm LeAnna Cruz.
Tell the truth.
Tell the damn truth.
We're back at it again. This is episode 3, TTT Tell the Truth Boxing Pod. It's your boy Khalif Wadlington. Got my two co-hosts.
I'm Javar, the Valley Savage.
Hey man, it's Ricky Numero Uno Nuno in the building. And guess who we got? We got somebody with us.
We got a special guest.
LeAnna Cruz.
LeAnna Bumblebee Cruz. She fighting out of Allentown Gym, Showstoppers Boxing Gym. And we're here right now, so we're about to shoot this episode. It's on Tell the Truth. So B, I want to know, what got you into boxing?
I've been an athlete like my entire life. So after high school, I went to college to play ball for a little bit. And then, I stopped going to school because my house burned down. And then I just picked up lifting, so I was always used to being really active. But throughout, I want to say since middle school, I've been fighting. Not boxing, but just fighting because I just did. I don't know. I just didn't take disrespect. So, so I want to say a week before I started boxing, and this was July 23rd, 2019, I got arrested for beating a girl up at a bar and knocking her tooth out and breaking her phone. And I ended up having just to pay the girl off, so she dropped the charges.
Okay.
So I got into boxing, and after the first day, I told the coach and I told my family, I said, I'm going pro. I'm just going to do this.
I'm getting paid to do this.
Yeah, I was
why beat somebody's ass and
Yeah.
not get paid for it? That was my whole perspective when I was getting into fighting. I'm like, why am I gonna fight right out here with these people that don't know shit? And then I'm at to pay for these fines. I'm going to jail. Like, what is the point of me bothering with these lames where I can go in and fight the competition and get paid some money?
And you're active, so because I was an athlete my entire life.
Yes.
Having that as just another form of exercising, because I was
Yeah.
I was in the gym, but I was just lifting.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
that's
how I was,
movement and
too.
everything, but I'm a competitor at heart. I like to be the best at everything I do.
That's why
Tell the
that's
truth.
why- That's the truth. But that's why we're fighters, yo.
Yeah.
As fighters, when we get into this shit, it's because we need to have that fulfillment of competition. And I know that's why I got into it, because I'll be real, when I became a fighter, a lot of people didn't believe it because, I'm this pretty boy and I don't really go out and talk a lot of shit. I'm very quiet. I'm soft-spoken. And I wasn't really a fighter like that growing up. When you had like you said, you had your incident where you were out and you had a problem with people. With me, it was I was cool with everybody. So you didn't know me in the streets as a fighter, right? So when people found out I was fighting, they were like, what? Not this pretty boy, right? So then for me, it became yo, fuck that. I need to show to people that I can compete and I do have ability to fight. And I think for you, it was something where maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like you were having shit going on in your life outside on the streets, and you were like, yo, I need to do something else.
It was really my boyfriend that told me to go do it. He was like, yo, just
support.
go.
That's dope.
And I was like, he didn't know I was going to take it this far, though.
Yeah.
He was like, I thought you were just going to do it because, it's a workout,
shit.
get some anger out.
Yeah.
But I'm a competitor.
That's dope.
Well, you should see, I am our second coach. Our first coach is David Hamilton. He's the owner of this boxing gym. And me being in camp with B and the work ethic that I see with this girl, I already believe she's a superstar without a belt. So we fight at 115. She has an upcoming fight.
112, 115.
112, 115. Right now, we're fighting at 115, right? Correct?
No, I think the next fight's at 112.
Okay, so the next fight's going to be at 112. It doesn't matter what weight class, if it's 112, 115, 118, 122. I believe she is going to be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters that have ever done it, and I witness it every day because I do pads with her. I am a second coach in command, and I see her grow every time. And I've never seen no woman get in this ring and give her the best sparring. I mean, they try, but she's always topping them off. So
Pause.
She tops the walk.
Hey, yo!
This is how she is. She don't get me. She gonna drive me up. Pause. That would be a good one, right?
Hit him with it. Hit him with it, LeAnna.
So if anybody else got any questions, we gonna freestyle this. But
yeah. Oh yeah, we roll with it.
So right now, I'll say this. What's the hardest thing in preparation for fighting or boxing for you? What is the hardest thing for you?
She's like, hold up.
No, it's something that's really hard, but I can't say it on camera. I guess the second hardest thing. You know what I'm talking about? I guess the second hardest thing is probably just keeping up with the running.
Running?
Yeah, I mean, I hate it. It's the worst part of
The road work.
training, but it's the most important, to be honest. Like, you can't do it. Stamina's everything. I've seen people have skill for one round.
Yes.
No conditioning.
Yeah, so it's really the running and being able to stay disciplined enough to do it consistently and pushing yourself past your own limits when you're doing the road work, the lonely road work by yourself when no one's there.
Nobody's watching.
Yeah,
You
no
are
one's there. No
constantly-
one's there in your ear cheering you on. It's just you. So that's the hardest part, really.
That's the biggest thing, right? So for me, it's like I can relate a lot because knowing what a fighter has to endure on a daily basis, and it's like you said, everybody loves to see you on fight night, the lights are on you, fucking music's playing, and you're doing your thing in the ring, and everybody's like, oh yes, you're the greatest ever, you're the best thing, and they love the excitement of your fighting, right? But they don't see those lonely nights. They don't know when you're cutting weight. They don't know on holidays when you can't spend time with your family because you're getting ready for a fight. You're getting prepared for a fight. Your relationships get fucked up because it's like, I got to dedicate my life to what I love, right? And I don't know how it is for you, but for me personally, when I was fighting, it was like, it's crazy when I say this, but fighting was wifey. Like fighting for me was like, that was my main chick. That came first.
Yeah.
No woman, nothing came first to my fighting career. So I don't know how it is for you personally, and that might be a question I'm asking you, but I feel like how important, now that you're in the game, you're 3-0, you're making some noise, you got high praise from your coaches and people behind you now, right? So there's getting some hype build up. What is it to you now? Like, how important is this boxing game to you? Is it something where it's life, or is it something where it's like, I'm just rolling with it and see what happens?
Nah.
Let's be real. Tell
This
the
is,
truth. Tell the truth.
This is about a legacy more than anything.
Hey, let's go. Let's get into it.
I'm LeAnna, but more importantly, I'm LeAnna Cruz. My last name holds a lot of weight to me, and it means a lot to, I don't want to say get away from the stereotype, but, redefine the stereotype of a Puerto Rican woman, and a woman at that. So
Amen.
there's not going to be anybody that gets in my way, they're moving, whether I got to take them out or, like, you move yourself. This means everything to me. Like,
Say less. That's what you want to. For me, like as a fighter, that's what you want to fucking hear. Like, and Khalif's, one of your coaches, so I know for him, it's like, yeah, he's getting hyped just hearing this shit. He's getting hyped just hearing that shit.
See, yeah,
because you want your fighter to say that. You don't want your fighter to be like, oh yeah, it's cool working with you, coach, and I like doing this. It's a fun thing. It's like, nah, like, I want to make legacy. I got something to prove. This is life to me. Like, this is something I am willing to go out there and sacrifice everything for, and that's what a fighter is.
And I
That,
did,
in my
so
definition.
Yeah, well,
I
the
did
thing
sacrifice everything.
the thing is, she don't have no amateur experience.
I know, and that's another impressive part.
People kind of take her light, think that they could just walk through her, or when they come in here, obviously there's a lot of people that think when they come here, they're going to do something to her.
Of course. I can relate, man.
They understand there's levels to this, B, she works her ass off. I mean, she don't take no breaks. She do 6 days a week. Yeah,
3 times.
I mean, three times.
3 times a week, I'm working out 3 times a day.
Oh yeah, 2-3 times a day is like a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a minimum. With
The regimen we got. I mean, we push her to the limit. She's working. I never seen anyone work as hard as her. I mean, the first time I seen her throw a left body shot, I was like, wow, this girl is different. Like, she does not fight like an average girl. Mm-hmm. She fights more like a dude. I'm putting her up there as far as skill for skill. There's Alicia Bongard, who's Big Bomb. This is
Bum
Little
Bomb,
Bomb.
right?
Why
This is
right?
Little
Why
Bomb
right?
right here. I'm just like, the way I'm
Wake
saying
me
this.
Trying to wake
He
me
said,
up.
he said, wipe me, you know what I mean? Wipe me.
Yo,
Tell the truth.
Say it right. It's Bumgarner,
What a-
right?
Yeah, Bongard. Where the cat at? Where the cat at? Where the cat at? Tell the truth.
Listen, though,
But no.
you said that you were Puerto Rican, right? So, does it matter to you if Puerto Rico, the country, claims you as theirs, or does that not matter to you? Because you see fighters like Shakur Stevenson, who has the blackest name I ever seen in my life, who, you know, I don't think he's even ever been to Puerto Rico, walks around now with a Puerto Rican flag, you know, trying to bring those fans in, but you'll ask a Puerto Rican if they claim Shakur Stevenson as their own, and they'll immediately be like, "Man, he wasn't born here. He can't speak Spanish. We don't claim him." Does that matter to you? Does
No.
like when you go out there?
I can care less who's riding with me and who's who's not riding with me. I'm concerned at the people who are going to be around me because it's genuine. If you don't fuck with me because I can't speak Spanish but I can understand it, it sounds like more of a you problem than it is me, because regardless, that doesn't mean I'm going to speak it any better. I'll give you what you want.
Exactly.
So, you know, it means more as when I say Puerto Rico, my family's very big on like our culture and like where we come from and like the island. So it's more about my family and, again, redirecting what it means to be a Puerto Rican, not even just a woman, a person, because we have to redefine what it just means to be a Puerto Rican in the society and show what we're really made of.
I guess you answered that one real smooth. I'm
Yeah,
back.
Real smooth too, baby.
So let me ask you: is there any before you got into boxing? Were you ever watching boxing?
No.
Never was
Oh,
watching
shit.
boxing.
No, I went to college for basketball. I was a basketball player.
Damn.
My favorite player was KD
Okay.
and Westbrook. I went back. I was an OKC fan. Big
Oh,
three
shit.
were James Harden,
Yeah.
Westbrook, and
Yeah.
Kevin Durant. And
That was
I
squad right
love
there.
them.
Yeah.
I was a baller. I was a hooper. And even when I stopped going to school for basketball, I still ended up playing ball, like just pick up. And I did that since I can remember. Like, I've always been really, as pretty as I am, one of the guys.
You're one of the homies. Just
Yeah.
chilling, kicking it.
Yeah, I have two brothers. I'm the middle. So my older brother was the one that got me tough because he used to beat me the fuck up.
Yes.
He used to beat me up.
Tell the truth.
He used to beat me
Whoop
up.
that ass.
And then I used to beat up my little brother. So I was always just aggressive. I was into wrestling. I played softball up until I was maybe 10 or 11. That was my dad's dream for me. And I remember saying I'm done, and he was so crushed and asked me why, and I was like, it's not physical. Like,
Word, contact.
yeah,
I need the
like,
contact.
Yeah,
Facts.
and
Okay.
I mean I'm 5'4" now, but in high school I was probably like 5'2", 5'3", and I used to play down with the big girls at the block. He was not getting a board over me. That was my pain. Like, for real.
Aggressive.
So yeah, I just
There's always a minute.
always
you.
always
fire's
had the
always
fire.
been in you,
Yeah.
yep.
So now it's crazy because now I'm gonna go right into the next. It's like, so how does your family accept it now? Because if you're a woman, right, Puerto Rican, and you're something that you feel like you gotta prove to, like, you know, certain people maybe in your family, how do they accept it? Like, as a woman fighter, do they accept it? Do they like it? Do they support you? Or they're like, oh, what are you doing? You know,
It's a
you're
mix.
a mix, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you've probably gotten it.
I went
too.
through it, man.
Yeah, it was a mix of everything.
My
right?
mom hated it. She didn't even go to a lot of my fights until she found out I was not gonna be. She actually, you know what? It's funny. The first fight she went to was at it was the Rowway Inn, Parkway Inn. It's Parkway Inn now, but it was the Rowway Inn at the time. And it was my second or third amateur fight, and it was like a 10-second fight. I knocked the dude out. She was there going crazy, and all of a sudden she was a fan. But until then, she did not want to see me. She's like,
Got
my
LeAnna,
Ricky, I don't want to see my Ricky
LeAnna.
getting hit. I'm like,
Tell the truth.
man, damn, just don't worry, it's gonna be okay. Like, just
be
go
okay.
and see it. Like,
Ricky
just
got
go
dog
and
in him. It's me.
Yo, and she didn't know that because honestly, when I was a kid, I was like soft-spoken, shy, like quiet. Like I'm not a loud, outgoing well, now I might seem like it. Like, y'all see me now, I'm acting a fool. Y'all like, this dude talks hella shit. Nah, but when I was young, like, I was so shy and like I was scared. Like, I was timid of self because I just didn't know my capabilities. And then when things started happening, I started training and I started seeing what was gonna happen. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I can do something with this. But that's why I asked for you, because I'm like, does it affect you? Like, for you, is it so important for you to have your family behind you, or is it like similar to me? I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm gonna direct your questions related to me, because I just feel like fighter questions, we gotta ask this.
You're good.
Is it something where, like, you as a fighter, do you need your family support, or is it just like, yo, fuck this, I want to do it because I love this and I know it's made for me?
That's tough, because when I just question my purpose, a lot of it has to do with my family, and more so my immediate family than anything. My father means the world to me. My brothers mean the world to me, and it's always been us four. So having them behind me means everything. I wouldn't need anyone else. But if I didn't have that, I think it would give me a chip on the shoulder, and I'd still do it anyway, because I've always been like that. You could tell me, my dad would tell me to do something, and I'd be like, okay, and not do it because that's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? If I didn't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it.
Gotcha. Yep.
So to answer that, like, even the question before, like the mix, I had to actually put a couple of my family members in their place. Like, listen, if you don't want me doing that, keep those comments to yourself, because you're wasting your breath.
Regardless, I'm still doing it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So, I've had to tell some other people, like, when they're like, you're such a pretty girl, why are you fighting? I'm like, shut the fuck
Yeah. Yo, for real, it's something you want to say, but you can't, right?
Oh, I do, though.
I didn't, because I cared, honestly, for real. Like, when I first started fighting, I cared so much about
what everybody else was thinking.
Yeah, I cared about the support. I was like, yo, I need a big following, because that's how I'm gonna blow up and go to the UFC, because I was an MMA fighter. So I'm like, yo, if I get the support and I get all these people behind me, I'm going to the top. But for you, that's dope.
But hear me out. How you said you grew up, you were shy, timid. Not me. I was out there. I was right at him. I used to say whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I got into a fight when I was 11 or 12. This girl was like, were you talking shit about me? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, bitch.
And then we thought about it. You know what I mean? Like, I was always right at him. I got suspended for 10 days for looking for a boy, because he said he was going to beat up my brother. So, like,
Fights in the blood.
You know what I mean?
She's the real dog right here,
So,
man. She's
I
the
think
real
with
dog.
that-
First time you went to train in boxing, I heard it was 8 hours you did in the woods?
Yeah, they were playing with me because I called and I was saying I want to go pro, and they had this crazy coach. He was crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Where is this at? Where'd you start training? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
It was here.
Okay.
But the first day though, I came in and it was a different assistant coach that would help out with some of the amateurs. But he was nuts. I swear, there's something off.
Yeah.
He took me to Lehigh Parkway, and it's like I don't know, like 7 miles maybe. He had me do, I think, 1,000 squats, like 500 push-ups, and 500 sit-ups in 8 hours, and they gave me 2 meals in between in the water, and I had to run with grapes in my mouth. They had to see if I really wanted to do it, and I did it on the first day.
Yeah.
On the first day.
That tells you a lot right there.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot.
They out here trying to. They out here trying to break people.
So,
Holy shit.
since you came into camp with Dave the first time, how was the transition to the coaches you had prior to now with Showstoppers Boxing Gym?
So I actually started with Dave, and I trained with him for about a year before I decided to just up and leave. And I then went to work with Sharon Baker at Pivot Boxing Academy. And then I left Philly to, I want to say, work with Aníbal Adorno for about 3 months. And then I came back to Dave, and I want to say the difference between Dave, Sharon, and Aníbal was Dave cares about me as a person, and that right there makes me want to give him everything when it comes down to being his fighter. What separates him too is, he pushes me past my potential. Like, you're the coach that's very loving, very like
Supportive.
yeah. Dave keeps me humble. Dave is on me harder.
Grounded.
So I have the best of both worlds with both my coaches, you and Dave in my corner. But,
Tell the truth.
I definitely want to say
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference with Dave.
Awesome. So, is there any icon fighters that you have, that you study right now that you watch?
Yeah, I want to say my favorite fighter is Alicia Baumgartner.
Oh shit! There you go.
See,
Right.
real always recognize
Yeah.
real.
It's
Real
hard, though,
recognize
because
real.
I'm Puerto Rican, and Puerto Ricans are always behind each other. So Amanda Serrano, she used to be my favorite.
Serrano.
But,
Hell
like-
yeah. I thought that was coming out, to be honest. I thought that.
Really?
What do
I
you
thought
think won that
Serrano was
fight?
getting dropped.
Who won that fight?
Who won that?
Between who?
And Katie Taylor.
Can't tell her.
Serrano.
Serrano won. And hold on. Hold on.
Yep. He's blowing out the cat.
One
Tell the
round.
truth.
But I also
Serrano
would have
won
been
that.
fine with a draw.
Mm.
It was either one round or a draw.
Who would you have?
No, I had Serrano.
I had Serrano.
Are y'all serious?
I had Serrano.
Look at
I
that.
had
Hold on,
I had
That's
Serrano
3 or 4.
or very similar to her, where it's like a draw. Serrano.
Or by
I had
one round.
I
It
had
was so
Katie Taylor
close.
1, 2, and 3. Serrano 4, 5, and 6. Katie Taylor 7, 8, and 9. And the 10th round could have been either one.
Tell the
But
truth.
that's the beauty of judging. Everybody
is-
looks for different
is-
stuff in a fight.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: you being a female fighter, right? Would you rather have 12 rounds with still having 2 minutes, or would you rather still keep the 10 rounds in 3 minutes? Because I feel like if Amanda
2 minutes.
Serrano would have had
3 minutes.
just if she would have
I
had 3
agree.
minutes, even 30 more seconds,
She would've beat
she
her.
would have knocked her out.
But even
What's stopping?
even the whole other minute in the previous rounds, who's to say what would have happened in those previous rounds? Let's be
Exactly.
real, Amanda
I
Serrano's
know.
gas tank is crazy.
Crazy. And she
So,
got crazy stamina.
I think if Katie had agreed to those 3-minute rounds, she would have been out the sport.
Yeah.
I think
was-
she would have been donezo.
Was it up to Katie? I thought that's on the commissions. The commission's not even allowing that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but-
Nah, it was up to Katie. Katie
was up
said
to-
no.
It's commission and the actual like promotion itself make them agreements. That's why
Right.
Floyd used to have those agreements with Vegas, and when he'd always fight in Vegas because he knew he would get those agreements with the gloves.
Right.
He'd get the proper gloves.
Hell
He'd get
yeah,
everything he
whatever he
wanted.
wanted.
Whatever he
Sinisa
wanted.
Estrada has fought 3-minute rounds.
I think those 3 minutes are huge, man.
I think so as well.
3-minute rounds
I
is
agree.
huge.
That would have changed. That would have.
She's
That's about to go my
3
next
and 0. She don't have no knockouts yet, but if she has an extra minute, she's knocking these girls
But that's
out.
what, that's what
So
I was
you
about
would
to
rather
ask
have
her.
3
That's what I was
minutes
about to ask
instead
her.
of going
Yeah.
12
Do you
and
want the
two-
3
and
minutes?
2
Or you
rounds.
like
I'll
those
do
2 minutes?
anything. I don't. Whatever.
Give me both.
Whatever.
I want
Yeah,
all
give me
five,
whatever.
3 minutes.
If you want to do 3 rounds, cool. You want to do 2 minutes, 12 rounds, cool. Because I'm gonna be ready to go. If we're doing 12 rounds, I'm gonna be ready to go 15.
She's sparring
Like-
4-minute rounds.
Yeah,
with the
and-
guys.
And when I went
don't
to
like-
spar at Bosie's, we would do
What?
4-minute
I don't
rounds.
like those 3. I don't like those 2-minute rounds. Like I feel like
I don't.
You're
either,
rushed.
man.
why the fuck do
yeah.
you have to have that separation?
But
Like,
it makes it exciting though.
of
Women's
course,
fights.
I mean, they are, but I still
Because
be.
they
I-
got to get it in. They have to fit that
3
in
minutes.
there.
They still got to
They
get it.
still
in.
can get it in.
They
3
still got
minutes.
to
3
get
minutes.
it in.
You will see more stops.
The only thing is though, like
You see more
I'm
sides.
not
I
doing
agree.
no 3 minutes unless I'm getting paid more.
Absolutely.
Hey,
So-
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
The
Like you
money,
ain't have me do that.
money talks.
Money talks.
Money talks.
But-
I feel you.
If I'm ever offered 3-minute rounds, I ain't saying no because I mean we trained 4-minute rounds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean I'm ready for 3 minutes anyway.
So who's your favorite male boxer? I know you said that Bumgarner was your favorite female boxer. Who's your favorite male boxer right now, current?
Wow. Damn.
You got a couple, don't you?
Yeah, like number 1. Yeah. I got
Give us-
3.
give us-
Well,
give us
just
five,
say-
give us
just say-
five.
Just say the top couple, top
Okay,
3, top
give us
5.
Yeah, top 3 is cool.
Top
I
3.
think top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Devin Haney,
Okay.
All right.
Devin Haney,
Well,
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, Shakur.
she likes boxers.
Yeah.
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 And Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, those 3.
Big fan of Boots.
Yeah.
Big fan of Boots.
We've had conversations on this episodes already. We drop Boots a lot of times on here, just
for
for personal experiences and just him in general.
Yeah.
The kid is special.
Super.
He is super talented, super special, and I have very high praise of him just because not only my personal experience with him, but just seeing his growth in the sport, man. It's just something you don't see every day. It's
Boots,
just something you don't
Boots
see
also
every day.
watched Bumble spar, and he feels the same that she's special because, like
Real recognize real, man.
When you see something different, like the first time I ever seen her throw a left hook, I said this earlier, I already knew something was different with her. And I never seen one, pick up instincts. Like, that's her strong suit. Her mind is probably her strongest suit.
Nah, my discipline.
Your discipline. Well, okay, her discipline. She correct me.
Hey,
But
tell
to
it.
me-
Pull the cap out. Pull the cap out. Pull the fucking cap out.
It's because, where they have that? It's right here. The reality is this, though. The reason why I say that is because you adapt on the fly now, more so, and you're thinking. You process it, and you watch film, and you actually looking, and you see stuff ahead of time, like me. Like, now it's happening, And I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day when she used to get in there with some of these girls, I used to see her touch them and everything, but like, take it easy. I'm like, yo,
Follow through.
what we doing here? You know what I mean? What we doing? Are we gonna take it easy, or are we going after them? And she had to take that switch it. And ever since then,
Nah, what you said to me was, if they had the chance to knock you out, they're gonna do it. I was like, what? You're right. So fuck that. And no
Switch
mercy.
went off.
yeah,
No
switch
mercy.
off.
Switch gotta go.
But the thing is, I see how hard she pushes herself, and when she adapts in the ring, and the power and the speed. But it's the mind, like it's her mind, I think, that separates a lot. Because there's a lot of fighters right now that have more experience than her just because of the amateur ranking.
Yeah.
So you get in there with someone with 30 fights. Obviously, that's the experience. You think that they're going to outwill her and outskill her, and she's the one usually outskilling them. So that just shows you there's levels to this. Yeah, there's levels. And
Athletes over everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Athletes with good coaching, it can separate you, right?
That's him.
That's
He was the missing piece.
Yeah.
What you just described is Coach Leaf.
I know,
Yeah.
and
100%.
it's funny because we're very similar because I'm the same way like with my MMA fighters. Like I'm that like missing link to these fighters where it's like, okay, we do our wrestling, we do our jiu-jitsu, we do our our striking, whether it's kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, and then we got to tie it all together, and they don't tie it all together. They really just go to these classes and they don't put it together. Where I'm that missing piece where it's like I put all the connections together.
It's the understanding, and because
Of
you
fighting.
understand the sport, it's a lot easier to translate that to someone who doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
But it also depends on like who you're coaching, because a lot of people
You're
just
dealing
don't
with.
listen. Like you could tell somebody 1,000 times to throw it this way, and they're throw it the way they want to throw it. Or if they,
stubborn.
you know what I mean?
Or just don't listen.
Yeah.
Stubborn or just don't listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it goes hand in hand.
It does. It does. It's a balance, and the thing for me, like as becoming a coach and becoming like a trainer now, like you start to, it's weird. Like I don't know if you get this, Khalif, but you get like an eye for it. Like you're in the gym, you're seeing these people train, you're seeing these people work, and when you instruct, and like you said with her, like you do stuff with her and she gets it, she picks it up.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same thing with me. Like I'll do certain things with the fighters I work with, and it's just like they pick it up, and it's like, damn, man, this is just dope and great to see, because me as a former fighter, like I live through them now. Like honestly, like, I had no kids. These fighters were like becoming my kids. Like I care about my fighters.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like what you said about Hamilton and what you say about him, that's good, because you need fighters. You need coaches that are going to care about you and your personal well-being, right? Because we talked about this on our previous episode, where fighters get into fights and then they get rocked, they're getting clipped, they're hurt, and literally they'll let them fight to the death and not protect them. This guy, Hamilton, myself, I'm not allowing that. I will, and you're gonna hate me for it at the time. You're gonna be like, yo, don't fucking stop it.
Yeah.
And this is never gonna happen to you. All right, let's tell the truth. This ain't gonna happen to you. This ain't gonna happen to you. Tell the truth. But I'm saying, if God forbid,
I know what you mean though, in a sense of protection, because even
Protection.
if we go out for like sparring,
oh yeah,
I've sparred a girl that fought at the lowest weight that she ever fought at was 168, and she was like 6'1".
damn.
Yes.
You know.
Oh
So,
shit.
And she was throwing bricks.
I've sparred with her, but it was like she was chopping hard in my body, but she had enough respect at the fact that I was a smaller fighter.
I mean, I don't like the shit that Jake Paul does. I think it's like some clown show shit sometimes, but you can't knock the fact that like how he's promoting the female fighters and getting them paid, getting them in championship fights.
He's only doing
And
that for
when
Serrano.
Nah, was Shadeja Green's with him too.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
that I did not know.
Yeah, she's. I don't
Tell
know if this is
the
next.
truth.
I don't know.
News update.
When was that?
Yeah, dropped on you.
The next fight that Jake Paul has.
Yeah, the
Shanice
February
agrees is-
4th. She's under the Amanda card.
Yeah, Jake Paul did that. Jake Paul seen her. Yo, I gotta get her on my card.
Wow.
He didn't see you
Yeah.
once.
You
Jake
know what
Paul
I'm
got
saying?
the bag.
So he
Yeah.
be doing that clown
Tell
stuff
the
on the
truth.
side, like, oh, I can
No cap.
knock out Canelo, I can do this, but nah. When it comes to putting on real fighters, he puts on for his fighters. He
And
gets
the thing is, too, he's investing in women because women's boxing is growing, like, at a crazy rate. You look at the little girls, like, I mean, granted, I've only been into boxing for, like, coming up on 4 years. You look at the female fighters and just how women have developed as boxers, it's crazy, the competition. So he's a businessman. He has the money to do it. He's smart. He knows where to put his money in, and he's putting it in the right women.
Yes.
And he's putting up the right shows.
Shit, I hope he sees this.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Nah,
saying.
definitely.
Let's
I
go.
mean, if he's calling, I would pick up the damn phone because he's gonna get you on pay-per-view and he's gonna
Yeah.
get you paid.
Yep.
You know, so like you said, women boxing is growing at a rapid rate, right? And the year just started, right? So with it growing the way it's growing, where do you see yourself January next year? Do you see yourself in like title contention, a title shot?
The only thing that I see in my head ever is me holding up a belt. I don't know when it is, but I got it under the lights. That's it. I see you running in the ring, picking me up right after, and that's all I see. I don't know when. I know it's coming, but I want to say where I want to be in a year. I definitely want to be like 8-0, and then getting a title shot by the end of next year, as long as I get 4 fights within this next year. But even at 7-0, I could see myself being a contender. I was on BoxRec. I was ranked number 3 at 3-0, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, that's what happens in boxing. It's
Like
just
what?
that, like
It
Well,
can
you
go
move
really
up fast.
It can go fast with
Yeah.
women's
Yeah,
boxing.
Yeah, that's what I
I
mean.
mean,
they
the
go
pool,
quick.
like, how
It's
many
so small.
good women fighters are there currently? Like, it's
Ebony
very-
Bridges got a title shot, I believe, in 5 or 6 fights.
Now, do you think that's because of her ability, or do you think
Because-
that's
I think it's
because of what she does on the scale?
I think it's, again, eyes. She bring money in, money talks.
Money talks.
Exactly.
I respect it. I mean,
Yeah.
she's getting her bread. She put herself in the right positions. But one thing about Ebony that a lot of people don't see, that girl works her ass off.
And
Oh,
she
yeah.
fights her ass off.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be real.
But no,
She
I
fights-
trained
she's
with her.
She's cut.
Ebony.
She's,
Listen, there
she
ain't nothing
fighting her
wrong.
ass off.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. If that's gonna get you paid, you know, what I'm saying, and that's gonna
Do
move
you.
you up the ranks a little faster because the
Yeah.
promoters know that they want to see sexy women punch each other.
Exactly. What's
then
wrong with
what's
that?
wrong with that? There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
And my whole thing too is like, you know, I love that she's unapologetically herself. I trained with her, not trained with her. I was one of her sparring partners for 2 fight camps, I believe. So like I said, that girl works her ass off. So I'm like, if that's what you want to do on the scale, by all means. I mean, you do that and then you work your ass off. You do it all. Why not
Do
be
your damn
both?
thing.
Yeah,
Be you.
you know.
Be you, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that's one of the, so you had sparred Ebony Bridges, correct? And you sparred
Yeah.
other names. Can you just tell some of the names you sparred in the sport?
I said Shadeja Green, Ebony Bridges, pro,
Yeah,
or
pro
like
or,
big
or
amateur.
amateur. It doesn't matter.
Marlena Esparza, Callie Reese,
Letitia.
yeah,
The US.
Calories.
Letitia Moore,
That ain't something.
I want to say Nat Dove.
Heather Hardy.
No, I didn't
No,
spar.
they
We were
spar.
supposed to, but then
spar.
literally the day before something
something
personal happened, and I wasn't gonna ask no questions or when she's
I
gonna be
think of
back in the
anybody
gym.
else.
Yeah.
Oh, today.
Oh my God! What
Today.
the hell?
Today.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Today we sparred who?
Mia Ellis.
If you guys don't know who that is, that's Tank David's little sister, not blood sister, but
Yeah.
she's trained with him in camp. She was in, showed videos, her sparring Tank at like 5 years old.
17 years ago.
Blew my
Damn.
mind. Yeah, she was in here today getting that work,
Nice.
and that was great sparring. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, for real.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
I'm trying to think too. But is there anybody on the radar that you looking at any weight class that you?
Yeah,
got
we
your eyes
eyeing
on?
up, man. Like, let's be real. Like,
Tell the truth.
You as a fighter, I know, like, there's times, like, you're going to be studying film or you're going to be watching people in the fight game and you'll be like, yo, I can beat that motherfucker's ass. Like, yo,
Marlene Esparza.
let's go. Tell the truth. Sparza.
I want her at any
Let's
point.
get it cracking.
If they called me right now at 3-0 and they were like, we want you to fight Marlene 10 rounds, bet.
Say less. I'm in it.
Those belts are mine.
Hell yeah.
Those belts
See,
are
I'm
mine.
saying, tell the truth. Let's go.
Let me see.
I know there's some other names out there.
I want to say the second girl is Adelaida Ruiz, world champ at 115. And then.
So is that the weight class? Is that the weight class you're preferring right now? 115, like
112,
Nah,
115.
Marlene's at 112. Adelaida's at 115.
So you're like 112, 115. Anybody can get it.
No, 112 to 122.
Oh, damn.
I'm on your
112,
ass.
115,
I'm on your
122.
ass.
I mean, she spars girls.
Tell the
130.
truth. Anybody can get it. Let them know. Let
I'm
them
not
know.
gonna lie here. She spars
Let 'em
girls
know.
130, 140, and
And that's dope.
She walking
And
them down.
That's
She walking
dope
them down.
because
Yeah,
that is so dope because, like, it's crazy how I'm thinking about this right now because it's like for me it was like I was always trying to cut because it's like I'm fighting these dudes that are huge. I gotta fight these guys that are 6 foot some, 200 pounds, dropping the 155. Then I did the 147 cut in boxing. And it was like 6 foot guys dropping down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for her to be like, yo, I don't care. I can fight anybody from 112 to 122. Like,
Well, I mean, I walk around.
respect, man. That's what I'm
Yo.
saying. Like, if for
So,
you,
like,
it's like, if you don't have something where you're walking close to the weight, it's like, okay, it makes sense. I can fight at those bigger weights. It's not like somebody where you're like, oh, well, like, for example, like my fighter Yanni, it's like she walks around at like 118 and she's fighting people that are and she's fighting people that are like 120 something, and then she's now fighting people that are 115. She had one fight at 110, but
And Yanni, what, 5-0, right?
5-0, yeah, 5-0
Maverick,
amateur.
right?
Yeah, we got her.
Yeah, she's another name I sparred.
Yeah.
Just MMA. Yeah.
just MMA. She we know. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yanni, love you.
Fifth in the nation.
but
What's her name?
She's born to brawl.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Fifth in the
think
nation.
it.
She's sparring some girls.
Yeah,
Leah
Lindowski.
Yeah.
I want to see that work. I want
Good
to see
work.
that.
Oh yeah,
Good work.
you were just.
I
leaving by the
was
time she
here,
came
and then
in.
and as I was getting my workout in, I dipped, and they were
Yeah.
going to get their work
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So how's that work? Like you're getting like when you're
Quality
sparring.
work.
So when you're
I have
sparring
to
with
get
her,
quality work.
you're getting like what? Like if you're going with somebody like her, and then like your pro fighter you went with today, you said you went what, like 8 or 10 rounds today?
We did 8, but I was
8 rounds
I
today?
felt like I could have done 14.
That's just the conditioning of somebody who's putting in that work.
Yeah.
So when you do the 8 rounds with her, and then when you go with like say the fifth of the nation amateur standout, what's the rounds with her like? Is it shorter, longer?
Nah, so like
What's-
I can't bring anybody into my camps unless you could do 6 to 8 rounds.
Got you.
But you know, if you're telling me you can't, that's fine, because obviously I still see something in you that you know we can benefit
use.
from each other.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with running through people when it comes to sparring. Like I'm so used to getting like girls
Yes,
to
that-
spar,
that
like
was my-
fresh girls.
That was
while
my
I'm
next
tired.
question. That was my next
Shay's
question.
another
Do you
name, too.
prefer
Yeah.
just one person? Do you prefer just one person of just going like, hey, we're gonna do our 6 to 8
Nope.
with her, or do you like, yo, I got 3 people here today. I'm gonna get 3 with you, 3 with you, 3 with you. Like, which one is like your preference in your training?
I'd rather. It depends.
Okay.
Because there's some fighters that, like the Leah girl, I sparred with her a handful of times, but I realized that the caliber that she's at, and because she's amateur, the best that I'm gonna get from her is 4 rounds, and I see that in her. So I'm like, you know, when we're doing the first 4 rounds, that's the best her. After that, at that point I'm turning down because I'm trying to keep a sparring partner.
Yeah. I feel you.
So once I realized that after the first 2 times of sparring her, I told her, I said, hey, I'm gonna bring in someone else and I only need 4 rounds from you because I think that's when you give me your best. and that's where I'm gonna benefit from you, and you're gonna benefit from me. So, I'd rather, like I said, it really depends, but I think the ego likes girls lining up for sparring.
Yeah, of course. It strokes the ego. It strokes the ego, man.
Smile,
It's
yo,
like,
you see the
yeah,
smile.
you see the smirk because it's like you
They
see the
line up like
excitement
J's,
of,
yo.
I got that one, that one. Let's get it.
So do you
Yeah,
find it
I'm
hard to find work though? Like
Oh,
as far
yeah,
as like,
yeah.
like somebody that who can test you and somebody that can go 8 rounds with you, that can go 10 rounds with you sparring. Like, do you feel like I have to spar men to really feel like I'm
that was
tested?
about to be my next question.
Or do you
Today
feel
was
like
a test. Today was a test that I haven't had a test in a very long time. The last test I had was 2021, which was Marlon Esparza. Today was a test that I had.
those
So
with tanks?
Yes.
yeah.
And
that
she
was
just
the
had a
test
fight, 2 weeks ago?
January 7th.
On Tank, she was on Tank's undercard.
Oh, shit. Okay.
First round knockout.
First round knockout.
Damn.
So this girl is
So
a
that,
puncher.
but that's where I
She is-
seen her, and I said to him, I said, yo, I need to get that work. I gotta find a contact. And then I had remembered a girl I had sparred before went down there, and I just was like, yo, could you plug me in? Like,
I'm about to say,
how'd
how'd you line up this work? Like, I was like, who's the plug?
Well,
Yeah.
Who's the plug to line that up,
she's
right?
Killer Bee, right?
Yeah.
And this is Bumblebee. So I guess when she found out, she was like, I want to face the other bee.
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
wanted to know,
Yeah.
But I also just see that she don't fight like a girl, and I don't like just feeling like I have to hold anything back, or like I'm like, ugh, now I'm starting to be the mom in me that's like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt you.
Heard you,
I
yeah.
don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
But I needed what I got today, and she brought the best out in me, and she kept me on my P's and Q's, and that kind of work is only going to get me better.
That's kind of like we were talking about even before the episode even started. Like we were going into like a brief conversation of you're only going to be as good as the partner you have. So if you are in the gym and you're constantly top dog, you're getting the best of everybody you're with, how does that benefit you? You're not getting any better. But if I have that person that you bring in, or you have that partner in your camp where they're pushing you every day and they're giving you that test, they're making you raise up a level, and that's only going to get you better. It's not just to go in there and get your ass kicked. It's for you just to level up and get better at your craft. So I think it's important to have those good rounds,
When we spar,
those challenging
though,
rounds.
we are working on something specific each sparring session. Actually, I lied. I don't want to say each sparring session, because there's sometimes where
times.
like put it all together.
Yeah.
Then there's times where it's like you haven't been doing this. Start
We need to work
implementing
this
it on
today.
this.
We need to work
Yes.
this.
Yes. So you know there's a point in sparring.
There is. There's
So I think it's also important to have those challenges in front of you, but you also need those sparring partners where they're obviously not on your level, but you can hold back on some things and you can implement new things into your game and still feel safe.
And that's what good coaching does, because that's what a good coach and a good camp is supposed to do. They're literally supposed to see their fighter, see the things that are wrong, and address it. If they don't address that, no offense to y'all, but that is of their fault. That is of their fault, because they need to see that in you and be like, yo, B, we need to be doing this, this, and this. And it's not for here to make you feel better, and it's not here to hurt your feelings. It's because we care about you, and
It is
we
to
want
protect you.
It's to protect you, but it's to make you the best version of yourself that you probably don't even see yet.
Absolutely.
And that's what a
I
good
agree.
coach does. So it's dope that you have good people like Hamilton and like Khalif here who are going to really see the things that need to be fixed and worked on, and they're going to address it. They're not just going to let it go and be like, she'll figure it out.
But the thing is,
Because
like,
you're a gifted talent, like you're a gifted athlete, right?
Yeah.
And that's hard to find. So toughness, athleticism, God-given natural ability, I feel like are keys to like why fighters are successful. Like those are like the prime things. Like you have to have it in you, and if you don't have it in you, you ain't gonna be good. Because we've had the conversation with Tank and Ryan Garcia, and I'm sorry, I still don't feel Ryan Garcia has that dog in him. Tank has that dog in him.
We actually had
She got that dog in her. You feel me?
And T, you gotta be like mentally strong too, because like we've seen what happened to Tiafimo. You know what I'm saying? All
we
the
still
talent.
got it.
Yeah. He don't.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
like,
On the
but he has.
stool?
He don't.
He has.
On the stool.
He don't.
In the corner on the stool.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is bugged out.
Like
Yeah.
at
Well,
that point, you
mid-fight.
lost the
Yeah.
fight because
Exactly.
mentally
You
you're
checked
not
out.
even there.
You checked
Exactly.
out. You
Exactly.
checked out.
Yeah. Oh, he's-
It's nuts to me. I'm there. That's like, yo, when you're in that ring, like I don't know.
It's
Well,
killer be
you do
killer.
know how I feel, but I don't know how you feel because you fight differently than me. When you're in there on fight night, it's probably a different experience for you. But I know when I was in there, it was just like gladiator mode, and I tuned everybody. I literally tunnel zone, tuned everybody the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
You could be yelling this, that, and the third. I didn't hear you, but my corner, like whoever was with me, and that's who I heard. Everybody else, I didn't hear shit, and I literally was like, I'm ready to go. Like it's time to
You
ride.
should see her when she's locked in for a fight.
That's so. It gets
Yeah,
me hyped.
he-
It gets
Yeah,
me hyped.
The first time he ever saw me get locked in, he was like, "I'm gonna just go over
Yeah,
here."
yeah. I knew like
Because-
she needed her space.
I get mean
She gets
I was just
only
about-
because I'm looking at this like people die in the ring.
Yes.
I'll be damned that my dad is in the stands and I get hurt. So I'm like, you're gonna have to kill me for me to stop. So it's
Yep.
either
That was last episode.
kill or be killed. That's how I see it. So me, I'm like, I get really locked in, and like you said, I don't hear nobody but my corner, nobody. But what I'm
Focused.
thinking, even at the weigh-in, when I look at them in the
Yeah,
eye,
yeah. When you're eyeing them
you
up,
saw the
and
smile.
you're
You
on
saw the
fucking-
smile.
You're on the
I'm looking at
scale.
them,
Listen,
and I'm like,
let me tell you, when who the hell was it? Oh, it was the fake Ali, Michelle Rivera,
Yeah.
and Frank Martin.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Frank Martin.
Right, I picked
I
Michelle
know.
Rivera because I like boxers too, and Spence is my guy. So I was like, you know, if he's in
Yeah.
that Derek James camp, I'm
You
like,
were your
he's
favorite,
a
Martin?
problem. You know what I'm saying? He's. But I was like, but I seen more from Rivera at that point, so I'm gonna go with that tape. There was more tape out on Rivera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I seen that face off,
The weigh-in.
The way in.
you can see it. You
You
can
can
yo,
see
see
it
I,
with
yo,
soul.
I hit up the group. I'm like, yo, he's gonna scrape him. He's gonna scrape him.
Yo.
I immediately changed my mind. He's
super
gonna.
locked
He is
in.
one of the main guys.
He's
He's dialed in, and I'm telling you, like, yeah, I just can't wait to see him. I can't wait. I don't want to take off the top of this.
What?
So you got-
right
you
back
Who
to
you
it.
got between Crawford and Spence?
Man, Bud is whooping Spence's.
Let's go, T-Bud. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. No
Like, don't
cap.
get me wrong. It's nothing against Errol Spence. He is a phenomenal fighter.
Yes, he is.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
he is.
At 147.
He's the real
That's what I'm
deal.
saying. Yeah,
Spence
he
the
is.
beast.
He's one of the best.
What?
He the belt.
But
He the
you
belt
know,
holder.
when
But-
somebody has more just skill than you, I mean, to me, as good as Errol Spence is, and he probably hits like bricks.
Yeah.
He's one-dimensional, and I mean, all you got to do to neutralize somebody's power is angles, and Bud is one of the best at doing that.
I got angles. Yeah.
That's,
I got
that's-
you got
Shout
angles.
Both stances.
Listen.
Got good,
He's,
great footwork.
he's unpredictable. He doesn't do the same thing over and over and over. And I think he's a lot smarter, but I think Spence is a tougher fighter, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, it makes perfect
Spence,
sense.
I mean,
Makes
they're gonna
perfect
kill each
sense.
other in that ring. I'm not gonna think Bud's not gonna get unscathed. He's gonna get
Oh,
touched.
let's be
Yeah.
real.
But I just see him stopping
touched.
Spence or beating him. I don't see.
I don't
Spence
think he's
beating
gonna.
him.
I don't think he's gonna stop
Spence.
him.
I don't think he stops Spence.
That's why I say he's the tougher fighter.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to get stopped.
But I think he's gonna outbox him. He's gonna make him look like it's gonna be just a long night because all Arrow's gonna do is just push forward, push forward, push forward, push forward. And that aggression can only do so much because at the end of the day, you take that one wrong step right into a punch.
Yeah.
It's
Don't see
like
it
that.
coming. Don't see it coming.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Collect bets after this. You know?
You can collect
Yo,
payments.
I'll make
Yo.
all the money all
Do
by
I have to keep
myself.
pouring this
man.
out? I mean,
Yo.
All by myself.
do I have to pour this out?
It's so lonely. I'm gonna sit here with all this
Yeah,
money.
it's
right
gonna
cap.
come out.
Besides the United States, where outside the United States do you want to have a big fight?
UK.
The UK. So like
UK.
O2 Arena is where you want it?
UK.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Alright,
UK.
that's what's up.
No, that's
I think the
common.
UK fans would love me.
Oh, the UK fans
they
love
show
boxing.
love,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
They show
They
mad
do.
love.
They
You can't
really
say
do.
nothing wrong about Joshua, about
Yeah.
Fury without them trying to. They like the Beehive, bro.
They're like yeah, Beyonce's fans,
Yeah.
like Drake fans. They're
Yeah.
right at you. You say something wrong about
Hell
them.
yeah.
Yeah. Big support.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I definitely want to fight there.
So, and as far as sparring, who do you think? What male boxer do you think you can give work to? Professional. Like if you got in a ring, let's do 4 rounds. A male boxer.
Male.
Who would you give work to? That he'll be out there like, damn, like, oh shit.
Oh, everybody, every male.
Every male?
I've never not done that already.
So you think you'll get in there with Crawford and give him some work?
I've gotten in with Hank Lundy, and he was like,
Lundy.
he was
damn.
like, I have
Lundy.
oh my god, I could have said that too.
Oh shit.
He was like, I had no idea that you have no amateur experience. He was like, you are fucking sharp. So every person that has ever seen me spar doesn't believe I don't have amateur experience. Doesn't believe I've only been boxing for however long when they met me. They say that I was probably from Puerto Rico and I have a fake book. And so, but I'm like, bro, I don't even speak Spanish. So, so I mean, anybody they put in front of me, I'm gonna give them work, and they know it. They're gonna. I mean, and if they don't, they could come find out.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
They can find out. They can get this work.
Don't lie to America.
Yeah.
Tell them, man, stop it already. You know, anybody. We want smoke. We want
he's
smoke.
He's looking right now. He's going through the files. He's looking.
He's going through the files.
Even I sparred with a local pro around here who fights at 118, Jonathan Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Very good.
He's fighting on Friday.
And
Yeah,
that was
we're
the
trying to
first
be in there
time
again.
I had ever sparred him, and I remember in the sparring, like he was helping me out, and I remember in the sparring session he was like, I saw a right hand open, and I seen like timing it, and he was letting me punch on him like a little bit, like working with me, and I hit him clean, and I gave him a little thing on his lip right before the fight. And I didn't know until I seen him at the weigh-in. He was like, yo, you busted my lip from sparring. I was like, yo, my bad. And he was like, nah, honestly, I let you do it because he was like, I wanted to see if you got pop. He was like, you got pop.
Man.
And I was like, all right.
That's cap. I let you do it. You see how you trying to take
I
that?
feel like he did because he was working with me because at the time too, I had gotten what is it when you get your nose burned? You know
Deviated septum. When you get the cauterized?
Yeah. So I had gotten that, I want to say, and it was like the last week of healing, and I wasn't supposed to spar, but I was fighting
leaking.
in like, I think 10 days or less, and I needed work. So I went to work with him, and I told him, and that's why he was working with me the way he was. But then I was like, yo, this nigga, he thinks I'm not just going to punch on this nigga hard?
Yeah.
Hell no. Take that.
Hold this shit.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not one to take lightly.
And that's like for me, it's good that you're going in that question because now for me, like what I'm thinking, like, is it hard for you? As difficult it is to get the women sparring, is it difficult to get the male sparring? Like, is it like they don't want to work with you because they're like, she a female, she's small, I'm not really trying to hit her, I'm gonna feel bad. Like, you have that incidence a lot at all going to gyms, or is it somewhere like we don't give a fuck? Like, you want to spar? All right, let's get this work.
Nah, like some guys at first they'll be like, they'll wait it out once they get touched, then they're like, oh shit, and their coaches will tell them, you need to turn it up because she's punching on you.
She's not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had coaches telling me that they've had to tell their male fighters to turn it up on me because I was doing too much to them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that happened a couple of times.
No, I'm just thinking for me as a male fighter, and we used to have like minimum like of female fighters like training with us. So when they would train with us, I would be like, yo, give me everything you got. Like, I want you to crack me. But honestly, for me, and I think it was because of the size difference, and like I had pop, I had crack, so when I didn't want to ever hit anybody, let alone a female. So for me personally, like I didn't like going with the women sometimes because I'm like, shit, like I feel bad if I'm gonna crack her. But I wanted her to. Every time I worked with a female fighter, I always wanted her to work because I'm like, you better give me everything you fucking got. Do not hold back, by all means. But for me as a male, I was like, yo, shit, man.
I've gotten dropped by a boy.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
but I got right back up and was on his ass.
Because you're built different, right?
Yeah.
But a lot, no offense, tell the truth. I'm not waving the cat, tell the truth.
Yeah.
A lot of females, when they get cracked, it's like, damn, like, they don't want to get back up. And if they do get back up, it's like, shit, I got to keep going with this guy. And then it's like, it's different all of a sudden. Like, the sparring changes. So that's why I asked that question. Like, and you know what? Now my next question, do you prefer being with females because that's more, or women because that's more like on a realistic level for you? Like, I'm going to fight a woman, so I want to spar a woman? Or you just don't care and you want the best work possible because you're like, I need to get my game up because I don't have amateur experience. I feel like I want to make a buzz early, so if I get better with this particular fighter, male or female, that's what I want. Is that the idea
You hit
for
it
you?
right on the button,
Okay.
to be honest.
No matter who it is.
No matter
male,
what.
female,
Male
let's
or
get
female, let's get it.
Okay.
If you can get me better, shit, if you're they, them, I'll get in the ring with you
Yeah.
if you're going to get me better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know,
Like,
I
I
feel
don't
you.
care. I've gotten in the ring and I've gotten my ass whooped when I first started by a 9-year-old. And I give it to him too. He's the reason I'm so sharp. Smoke. Xavier
Smoke.
Oquendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to
Oh,
whoop
shit.
my
One
ass.
of the best fighters I've ever seen too, and he's little.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
So-
son's a smart one too, so
Yeah.
Him.
I remember
I've
hearing
gotten in the
Smoke.
ring with kids, but again, if they're gonna get me better, it is what it is. But like you said, the size thing, guys will say they hold back on me. Cap. It's just cap. That shit is cap.
Because they're cracking? Because they're cracking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they
shit is cap.
I see her pull. I don't throw names out
That shit
there,
is
but I
cap.
definitely see her drop a guy.
Yeah.
Actually, you're a couple guys.
On Wobble
This is
Street or
good.
just drop?
I've
Like
dropped-
literally hurt them. Like where
I've
they
dropped
didn't
more
have nothing
guys
left.
than I've dropped girls.
Like she
Man.
cracking
Yeah.
them, and one guy she fought with one hand.
Yeah,
That's all I have
the
to
one
tell you,
that I
and she dropped
dropped.
them.
And I fought him
Just
with
because that was
only
like
no
your,
cap.
that was your...
No cap.
Nah, I did
Yo.
because he wanted to train here, and when he came in here, he was like, "Oh, you're pro." Started talking shit to me, and I'm
Talking hella
like-
crazy.
I said, "All right, wait till you just
Bad.
get in the ring with me." Then when my coach did, and he told me I could only use one hand, I'm like, so right on his ass, and I remember him down and looking like,
Yeah, yeah.
"How
What
am
happened? You give her props now though.
No shit.
Yeah, now I got his respect, but it's like I shouldn't even have to take it there.
Yeah,
But-
it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks when you have to, but sometimes...
Train. There to go.
Sometimes people need that. They need that humbling, and they need to get grounded to let it be known, like, yo, don't fuck with me.
Let me ask y'all something.
Okay.
We got all fighters here. I was never pro, never amateur. So tell me how you feel, right? Because I never understood it. When you have that fight build up, right? And you have the press conference, right? We see the big press conference, and they're being hella disrespectful. Talking about your wife,
Yep.
you're talking about your kids, talking about your past, and then you go and put super hands on them, and then now they want to hug and kiss.
Yeah.
Is that something that you can see yourself doing? Like, say someone has something disrespectful to say about your father and your brothers at the press conference, and then you go out there and you fuck them up, and then now they want to come after the fight, like, you know how they hug and kiss
Fuck
after
that.
the fight. So
Don't
fuck
talk
that.
to me.
That's what
Don't
I like.
fucking talk to me.
Hell no.
You got me chopped. You talking about my dad? The one that gave me life? No.
No.
Hell no. And then my brothers? Hell no.
I never understood that. It's like after a fight, it's like everything that happened in the press conference
forgot about.
is forgot about.
Yeah,
But
no.
all that
Sometimes they
stuff
leave
he
the
said-
fight in the ring. Once that's
Some
how
people.
some people.
But
are.
the thing is, you leave it in the ring when you're boxing, but you're taking it outside at the press conference,
There you
outside of
go.
the ring.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's
Make
like,
it
you know what?
personal.
Keep that same energy outside of the ring after I whoop your ass.
Yeah. Keep
And the
that
thing is,
same
I
energy.
beat up a girl before boxing. I beat up a girl for my dad because she said she'll get her uncles to fight my dad. I busted her ass. My brother, I told you, he said some guy said he was gonna beat him up in high school, and I went looking for that nigga, and I found him and got my hand around his throat. Like, not about the men in my life. I don't play. I don't play. So, like, there's only certain things that'll get me to that level, but it's not a lot. But once you take it there, you stay there.
Don't cross back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Don't
crossed that
double
line
back.
already. You crossed
Yep.
line already. But
Yep.
once you cross that disrespect line, it's a wrap.
Because
We are done.
disrespect in boxing, I'm very respectful to everybody.
Same here.
I give my
Humble.
respect to everyone. You know, I'm super
Yeah.
humble, super nice. I don't like to bash any fighter because at the end of the day, the fact that you're even willing to just come in the ring says so much about your character.
Yes.
And it has to be respected whether you're a good fighter or you're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the point in taking it personal, like to a personal level. Like, this is a sport, and let's leave it about boxing. Let's not put any other
Families,
twist on it.
personal shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, leave the personal shit out of it. Let's do our thing with the fighting. But now it's a great question you just asked, because now I'm thinking in my head, So say if you're in a press conference, right, with things like that, and it pertains to business in a sense, right? So they're doing it just to hype the fight up. Like, like that's their, like Rolly.
Like Caleb playing smacking Canelo and
Whoa, he rolled with that, but that was real personal. Like, you're taking it way
Carver
too far.
Benavidez was personal in the press conference.
Yeah.
But like some of these people that do it, like I feel like they're doing it just to hype up the fight. Like they just do that shit talking.
Like Darrell and Plant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like where they're like just sometimes I feel like they're talking, but they're just saying it out of like things to hype the fight up. Like they don't want to be personal, but when you talk, like I said, when you were saying with the family, once you go into that family line and you start disrespecting my personal life, okay, then it's gonna be like, okay, this ain't fun and games no more. If you want to talk shit about me, be like, oh, you're a bitch and you can't fight.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hype up the fight that way.
Yeah.
When you go to my family and you go to like my personal life, stay the fuck away from that.
Once you kind of cross my boundary of the things that I value, because the same thing with my coaches. Somebody disrespect them? Hell no. Ain't happened on my watch.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, again, just keep it about the sport, keep it about boxing. It don't need to be, and I don't talk a lot. Like, I've never really talked that. I've never tried to build up a fight by talking, because words, anybody could talk. Anybody can use the words. Like, but who can really fight?
But can you fight? Right?
Exactly.
And I think you're coming to a great point, because I feel in this fight game now with the Jake Pauls,
a lot of talking,
the trolling.
It's like talking, like Rolly.
He'll
talk his ass to get a fight, and he's not even fucking good. Let's just keep it a bug.
But
Tell
it works.
Tell the truth. It works though, right? So,
but it also works because he sounds like Daffy Duck.
Yeah. He sounds like Daffy Duck.
Apparently he's fighting Ryan Garcia, and then they fight.
Yeah.
Then
with a tank.
Yo, but that crazy shit worked, bro.
Yeah, you got mad views. You got mad views on that.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why this is my next point. It's like, I tell my fighters this. It's something that Yanni battles, because she doesn't want to talk. She's like you.
Yeah.
She just wants to fight.
Yeah.
She's a fighter at heart, and she loves to fight. And I love that about her, but I'm trying to slowly pull it out of her of being able to be public and do things like this, where you talk to the people and they see who you are. Because honestly, in the era and the way we live now, in this social media and the way we view shit now, it has to be, people have to be able to connect with you. So I feel like believe me, I respect you for saying this, because that's a real fighter right there. When a real fighter says that, they're for real. Yes. And she don't care about that shit, which is good. But at the same time, like I tell my fighters, you have to have a balance of both. And I feel like this is not my advice to you, but I'm just saying in general, I feel like it's something you have to think about in this game in the business of boxing now. You got to think about, can I sell the fight? And because look, we talk about Crawford and Spence and shit, and he's not gonna spin the block because he can't sell a fight for shit, right? No. So, talented Crawford, you're talented. Can you sell? You probably can sell. You're an attractive woman. You're gonna want people to draw in to see you.
And she talks good.
You talk good, right? But what you said, and which it strikes home for me. Fuck the talking. Can you fight? And I like the fact that you said, I will talk if I have to. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go in here and handle my job.
Yeah.
So major respect to you for that. But I just think I think for me, what I'm thinking in my head, just don't forget this aspect of the game.
So I think the thing is, though, for you, because you're a male, women get attention
regardless.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So honestly,
sex appeal.
Think about it that way. For men, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Now, as a woman and me being pretty, right off the bat, whether I could fight or not.
Yeah.
Avril Matthew, she's a cute girl, can't fucking fight. Let's be real.
Tell the truth.
For what?
So
tell the truth.
That's what I'm saying. These call outs. So we're about to wrap it up, but is any names that on the radar? We asked this again, but I want to hear the names.
Marlene Esparza, Adelaida Ruiz, Aaliyah Pequeño, Jasmine Artiga.
This is a name you've been calling out for a little bit.
Oh, Ashley Sasente. Yes. I want Ashley Sasente next.
All the smoke. That smoke. That's your boy Khalif Wadlington. You already know we wrapping it up.
Who's your favorite boxing podcast?
GGT, tell the truth.
Tell the truth. That's right.
Yo.
That's right. And that's how we wrap it up.
Javara,
man.
Valley Savage.
Ricky Numero Uno here, man.
And we sign out with LeAnna Bumblebee Cruz, Allentown, PA, Showstoppers Boxing Gym. We out.